Hi, I'm Symphoneers, and today we're here in the Early Access Streamer event, playing Miracle Grow, a viewer-submitted deck from Adrico. Thanks, Adrico. I believe they're a patron. Thank you for that as well. This list is a list that's looking to leverage the higher instance and sorcery density that you can get off of playing adventure creatures in a kind of prowess-y shell. Although as compared to a conventional or like normal kind of prowess or red deck wins style build, we are looking to grow electrostatic infantry and questing druid into just being big nonsense creatures like 8/8s or whatever. We want to make these lads into what is legally known as a big chungus. And we also are running some Elusive Otters just to have a 1-drop that works with the deck, and can also, you know, if we top deck it, we can use the Grove's Bounty to put pile of 1/1 counters on a big trampler and smash face. So that's kind of the main game plan. Hearth Elemental is kind of like the Temur or Tolarian Terror of the list. We use Stoke Genies for hand restock. We also have hand restock from Seek the Beast, a bit of burn with Play with Fire and Lightning Strike. We have some Fading Hopes for removing big problem creatures, namely like a Sheoldred or something, get it off the board so we can swing in with our biggins and murder our opponent. Shore up for a bit of protection, keeping things safe from spot removal. We are also running a full play set of both Considers and Sleight of Hands. These are just for like the kind of prowess or the Miracle Grow triggers, make things big, get more cards in hand, etc. We are running 3 Monstrous Rages as well. These are a fairly important card, or like somewhat important, just in that they give the Questing Druid in particular, although maybe the Otter too, Trample, which is great. The monster roll token should do some work in this list. And yeah, that just very good, clean, efficient pump to kill people with. You love to see it. The weirdest thing in this list, and I didn't think this worked when I first looked at it, is that Lier can flashback adventure spells, which is wild to me, because normally when you have an MDFC or a like dual card of some kind, it is only the thing that is in the top part of the front face, which is to say like all adventure cards are creatures or whatever their like primary type is, in the deck, in the graveyard, and so on. I think this is where like my judge ruling stuff gets a little bit shakier. I think it's because Lier is granting the entire card front flashback, but the creature of course is not an instant or sorcery, but it still is functionally giving the adventure flashback. So when the adventure creatures are in the graveyard, you can cast the adventure, the card will go on an adventure, and then you can play out the Questing Druid or something. So Lier is functionally recursion for Questing Druid, Elusive Otter, and the Hearth Elemental. So that's why we're playing this kind of big, goofy 5-drop in an otherwise very efficient, very low to the ground deck. So yeah, looking forward to seeing if we can do stuff with that at all. Who knows? That more or less covers the deck, I think. Just a pile of duels to help make all this work. And yeah, if you like the deck, like the video, click all the buttons, subscribe, etc. Helps the channel a lot. And let's get into some actual gameplay. Oh, this hand looks pretty okay. Dreamroot Cascade is tapped, which is a little bit slow, a little bit awkward. So Elusive Otter will be a turn 2 play. Lier also a later game thing, but I think I like this. Yeah, Vamaya Coast, that makes the Otter better. Woo! Ding ourselves to play out the Otter. Black, so our Otter... our Otter's not dead, at least. I would like to get infantry down, I think. Which is a little bit slow rolly, but it just means that when we play with fire to kill the underdog or whatever, we get more value out of that whole thing. Until the end of the next, until your next end step, huh? Interesting. That is very particular wording. Pew Pew, play with fire the underdog. So we can Questing Druid on their turn, or do the Seek the Beast. I haven't actually thought through like some of this sequencing and stuff. Hi, that's a Shieldred. Consider? Okay. Lose 2. So we're not going to lose the Questing Druid right away. Consider does ding us off of Shieldred. We can potentially work towards a Lier play. Let's consider. Do not need another Lier right now. Sleight of hand, So I would like to Storm-Carved Coast, tap for red, do this Questing Druid. I'm fishing specifically for are we willing to lose something? I think we'll take this. I don't love this, but okay. Electrostatic Infantry will just trade. Do a big smashy, hit the opponent for a bunch. We have 2 Questing Druids banked, which is neat. Astronaut's Harvester, sure. Graveyard Hate is less than ideal. But not a huge issue. So we don't need to play out Lier right away, and Lier is a lot stronger with some protection. What I want to do here is just get that stuff out. Get Sleight of Hand so the Druids get counters on it. 1 into hand, Weather on the bottom of the library? Sure. Hearth Elemental, get in here. Big smash. Yeah. Writhing Necromass. Interesting. So we still don't have Lier protection, or like a way to give Lier hexproof. We can just play out Hearth Elemental for free, basically, or for 1 mana. I kind of want... Oh, discard your hand is the wording, right. Lier plus Monstrous Rage is lethal. Enrico mentioning in the chat. Think that's correct. I don't know. I can blame chat if that's incorrect. Oh right, Lier himself. That's a good thing to remember. The Questing Druids are not a prowess trigger. They're a Miracle Grow or Aquarian Dryad trigger. Whoopsie doopsie. That should, yeah, almost definitely be lethal. Or I guess I could have not done it like that and just pumped up the thing that would have hit them normally. Anyway, we get there. We get to punch through a slightly unusual mono blacklist, but they were playing like Shieldreds and Underdogs and stuff, and we get to just have a bunch of cards, never run out of stuff to do. Feels good. Good games to the opponent. I don't love it, but we can get the Questing Druid out early and then protect it with Shore Up, do Monstrous Rage, etc, etc, etc. We could fire off the Sleight of Hand early too to potentially get another creature in hand. We are looking to... I don't know. Yeah, I say like this isn't just my second game with the deck. I'm not sure if I want to... I guess I do have to pick now because it is a sorcery. Not sure if I wanted to fire off Sleight of Hand. I think maybe... Ooh, rough. Okay. Rats! Or a harried Spearguard. Neat. Hearth Elemental is cool and good. So, yeah, Hearth Elemental is actually relevant in that I would like to play out the Questing Druid, I think. We're potentially putting it out without protection, which isn't super ideal. Rats. You love to see it. But now, we get to do some other stuff. Oh, we have hit the awkward Hearth Elemental thing of just like, discard your hand, but I have two of them in hand. Yeah, that's a little bit awkward. Let's go honk honk, Monstrous Rage. It's a pretty standard thing with these decks, Edrico just noticing this thing, and with this type of threat, I don't know that we necessarily want to cut down to, kind of want to just Hearth Elemental here, or like do this. Ditching the shore up is a big weird call. I should have done that beforehand, shouldn't I? Punts. Another Hearth Elemental, though. Or, like, this is one of the reasons why having 4 of the Hearth Elementals can be kind of okay. It's just, like, they're really good top decks in situations like this. Hearth Elemental is down to 2, which is good, because we can go on an adventure and then play out one of the Hearth Elementals. They're noticing my shore up, which I don't love. Eaten alive! Oh! Rats! Rats. So. Shivan Reef. Considers a little bit awkward. We don't really want to ditch Lier to a Hearth Elemental is the problem. I really want, I want the Lier though, because the Lier's so good for us. Yeah, we can cast both as creatures. It's potentially a little bit awkward, but a little bit awkward just in that we're giving up a little bit of card advantage, but it is, yeah, still a 1-mana 4/5 versus 3/2s and 1/1s and stuff, so, you know. Dies, create a bunch of tokens. I think we take this. We're at 10. I don't love giving them the Tangled Colony trigger, but is there some reason why I'm supposed to not give that to them? Harmonics. Oh, okay. Well. No, not like this. Huh. 4, 5, 6, toxic, 8, 16. Lier Greed. I should have just bought him to Lier. Oh no, giving up the card advantage here, or the things are going wrong. Making the call here to just whack on in with the Hearth Elementals, because we do technically have lethal attack next turn. But yeah, no, God. If only second Lier was a land. Struggling for some removal. They almost certainly keep back the non-vermin land. Wow. We could top deck some removal. They're keeping blockers back. The poison is not that functionally different from actual damage at 10 life, you know? So. That's a thing. Elusive Otter. So close to being really cool and good. We can hope they make a mistake. Oh no, that's a sorcery. Whoops. Okay. They're blocking with Harmonics, huh? I suppose that's responsible. Because yeah, we are just dead to normal damage. Sorry, now I'm just like, do we have a way in? Are we live? Don't think this super matters. Quack, quack, quack. Those aren't dead. We proliferate up. We're dead to another Harmonics or to spot removal. Oh no! We only have blue sources that cost life. Oh. Wow. Toots magoots. Oof. Oh. We're just dead to normal damage there. Good games to the opponent. Lier in hand again, which is a little bit awkward, but I do kind of like Electrostatic Infantry, Monstrous Rage, Lightning Strike, or like just... These 3 alone will kill people pretty quick, assuming the infantry survives the turn where this hand is soft to spot removal, which I don't love. We are on the draw, so we might get something else to help round this out. I'll give it a shot. Do some things. Another infantry, pretty cool and good. Our mana is slow. Oh, I wonder. I didn't think about this in deck building. It might actually be correct to Copperline Gorge helps a lot here. It might actually be correct. Do we want to shoot? No, we want to get stuff down before we start shooting. Before we start blasting. Thought I was saying, we have a 5-color land in Standard. The gate, or whatever, or not the gate, the big donut, the circle. That is a pain land, but for any color. That might help the mana be a little bit faster, although using that land in addition to the normal pain lands is rough. It can really add up in a not great way. 0 cost invasion, huh? Interesting. We will get another electrostatic infantry down. Thran portal, thank you, Orsurp. Yeah, I was thinking of Thran portal. Good, I didn't forget that Monstrous Rage is instant. They are taking this block, which is nice. Make the electrostatic infantry into a monster. Oh, they have a bounce spell, don't they? Fateful Absence. Sure. We do get card draw off of that, technically, so it's something. But not what we love to see. Elusive Otter. This is kind of a weird call. I'd like to just shoot the Loam Speaker and see what they do. We could load up the electrostatic infantry with counters from Grove's Bounty, but they appear to be playing like a control deck of some stripe. So I don't know that that's actually incredible. Yeah, folks in chat mentioning that we could maybe shuffle the green mana or the mana base around a bit, which I think is probably true, but I don't know, I'm not super duper concerned about it. I maybe one line that I may be supposed to consider there, or that I should at least point out for folks, is that we have the option of holding up Fading Hope to bounce one of our creatures to hand, or to bounce the infantry to hand, or crack the clue. Like, we have some options there. I don't necessarily feel like those are great. That's just Wandering Emperor mana, so I'm not jazzed about running stuff out. I kind of want to crack the clue to fish for protection. Another Otter, huh? I should have tapped the Copperline Gorge to do that. Whoops. Because, yeah, our hand is very, very blue. We just hit him? Cool. Okay. We have another Otter. Like, even if we don't, I guess we can just blind fire the Grove's Bounty, like we can do X for 0 to get a counter on the electrostatic infantry. I'm really concerned about a Sunfall or a... okay. Yeah, a Sweeper. Oof. Questing Druid is a good hit here, because I would love to seek the beast. Land. Also love the land, then we can Questing Druid and, can get the Otter out, or we can Sleight of Hand. Next end step, sorry, yeah. So we lose the Sleight of Hand, so we should do this. Put the Hearth Elemental in hand. We have mana for Lier now, so that's something. Sorry, we have protection. We don't have Lier protection. If we had, protection for Lier in the graveyard, I would maybe prioritize the land drop, just because being able to Lier and then hold up a thing to, yeah, Edrico mentioning the Lier line, I like that more if we have a way to protect Lier. I guess we have Fading Hope. Shore Up does make the Lier better now, or like running the Lier out. Yeah, that does make the Lier better. Don't mind me. Green. 1, 2, 3, or do two counters on you. I don't know if this is strictly optimal. This feels like a reasonably good play to me, in terms of just like whack that Teferi right out of there, shut off their incremental advantage. Then we can shore up to protect the Questing Druid if they have spot removal. This will fizzle the Horned Lockwhale, which is great. Because then the Lockwhale just goes into their graveyard.
Only time will tell.
There's a lot of tension between Hearth Elemental and Lier in terms of the play patterns they support, which yeah, feels a little bit awkward, but I don't know. It's something, it's workable. I should have played Lier out first. Sorry, I'm missing damage with this deck, which is a little bit awkward. I'm gonna do Lier here. It's a gamble. But if they're empty-handed, or like if Lier survives the turn cycle, it's incredibly good. And if Lier gets got and we're sad, we get to do Lier things. Oh, we get, I'm pretty sure we just get to kill them? Sleight of Hand is sorcery. Sleight of Hand, Lightning Strike is better? This is fine. Don't worry about it. I definitely know what I'm doing. Fading Hopes are hyper effective here, aren't they? Just in terms of like killing stuff for the mana, or they're basically shocks. So we want to do, yes, we hope the tokens. This is good. We don't do any Otter recursion memes, but we get to do this. Just Monstrous Rage this because they're tapped out. 15-13 Questing Druid. Woo! Good games to the opponent. Oh, I'm pleased with that, or like, we get there. Is this greedy to keep? It's kind of greedy to keep, but how greedy? Opponent goes first, we're on the draw. Greedy keep. Oh, watch this immediately backfire. In particular, the line I'm looking at as a way to salvage or like make this hand safer is Electrostatic Infantry into Seek the Beast. Because that seems pretty neat. Or that's, like, on plan. Reasonably solid. Infantry gets cut down. Tyvar.
Impressed?
Cauldron combo?
Good.
Kali Breach. Again? Okay. That's awkward. I'm just gonna do this now.
Oh, just monstrous.
Can also do Hearth Elemental if we like hard panic. But no, Storm-Carved Coast, so we can do that. Questing Druid, get an Otter down. March of Wretched Sorrow, sure. Pass through the turn. I think Otter's a good creature. I'm not finding myself super enticed by Grow's Bounty all that often. This is nice, because we get to Otter. Sleight of Hand, ditch our hand if it sucks to the Hearth Elemental. Lier. Kind of want the Questing Druid. Is that weird? Lier is such a high... no, Lier, we don't want to hold on to Lier. Or like with the Hearth Elemental in hand, I think keeping or taking Lier is awkward. So I'd like to hold up the Questing Druid for their turn, I think. Okay. Rowan! Monstrous Rage, Sleight of Hand. Questing Druid. Monstrous Rage. These are awkward. Tap blue for this sleight of hand. I like the Lier more here. This is kind of a gamble. My hope is that we will be able to do Lier stuff on subsequent turns. Have Lier survive a turn cycle, that would be pretty sweet. Pretty cool and good. Yeah, rip the rage. That's always the problem, or the awkward thing with Impulse Draw, just like, well, we have some decisions to make. If only you could zero cost cast the Hearth Elemental. Rowan's happening. Painlands. Hope's Beacon.
Time to light up the darkness.
Oh, it's just red or black. It doesn't care about stuff, huh? That does zero out Hope's Beacon. That's a neat line.
Your hands now. Your
Or like that cost reduction being that way is cool and good. Can we have a creature survive the turn? Is the question. Please, please, my tiny baby boy. Rowan whacks us. Okay, we have some decisions to make. Ooh, Stormcarved Coast. This might be wrong. Big bonk. And we have Questing Druid to work with. Another Hearth Elemental, too. Ooh-wee. Okay. Oh, their draws are awkward, aren't they? Or just like... Yeah. Yep, fair. They are dead on board at that point. I wasn't really counting power and toughness. I was just excited we got Lier for another turn. Yeah, so even though they have just a giant pile of removal, yeah, too much top end, maybe, I don't know what they're playing. Even though they have just so much removal that we have to chew through, Lier coming in clutch there and really doing the thing that Lier is in this deck for, of just like getting adventure creatures back out of the graveyard or giving us access to a ton of card advantage and ensuring we can close things out at that point. So yeah, I'm very happy with that game. Good games to the opponent. So, in kind of summary, very, very excited by this deck, or very pleased with it, because we got some tough matchups with this list, too, in terms of facing off against, you know, very removal-heavy black decks, or, like, decks I would have expected this to struggle more with. They weren't walks in the park by any means, but this deck held its own. As far as potential tweaks go, I think tinkering with the Lier and Hearth Elemental count is not a high priority, but something worth noting of, like, these two cards are in tension with each other a little bit. I think both of them are correct for the list, but maybe something to consider. Mana, maybe a little bit like red-green heavy, or we were just pressed for blue once or twice. In particular, I would shout out Thran Portal as just a good multicolored land to include in the list to potentially speed up the mana a little bit. Or just generally, getting the mana a little bit more consistent would be nice. I think main things as far as like spells and creature includes go, Monastery Swiftspear of course is a huge notable absence from the list. I think tinkering with the creature suite is, like, that's definitely work that folks should do, although I don't have time to do that in early access. So yeah, tinkering with Swift Spear, maybe tinkering with like the suite of cards a little bit. I found I wanted shore-ups more than I had them just in the couple games we played, so maybe a little bit more protection in the deck, or maybe slip out the back or something. This deck definitely has access to enough cards that you could build a good sideboard for best of 3. So yeah, but overall, very, very excited with this list, or happy about and, you know, excited by this list's performance. It was pretty cool and good. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching the video, and an extra big thank you to the Patreon patrons and YouTube members that help make these videos possible. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.